I'm Steve Mustain, and I don't know if some of the other folks around the table, I know they knew Walter as a coin dealer and a collector, but as his brother, throughout his life, I knew Walter as a student, a scholar, an expert, and then a researcher and historian. Walter was all of these things with respect to Cook County real estate taxes. For a number of years, he was all of these things with online investments. He was also a biblical scholar, and he also, obviously, he loved coins. My mom passed away back around 2002. And the first time I came into the store and Bob and David knew who I was, they broke out into true, genuine smiles, and they said, "You're Walter's brother." And from then on, whenever I had dealings with them, if I maybe they would let me take maybe a coin or two out of the store without having paid for it. And they would always say, "Don't worry, you're Walter's brother. So we know that you're good for it. So if you decide not to buy it, that's not a problem."
Walter epitomizes one of my favorite theories that I fall upon quite often, is that a first-rate collector knows more than a dealer. The dealer has to know everything. The collector knows his area better than any dealer because they study that and not other areas of numismatics. And Walter was also the ideal collector that you always want. He didn't have to have everything as a 62 or a 63 or in a plastic slab. He was concerned about the die studies in Sheldon and Newcomb, and he studied the coins to try to get complete sets of these two areas of large cents based on the die studies. And so this is the perfect collector who really, really understands. And when we needed advice on large cents, we gave the coin to Walter to study.
I'm the only guy at the table here that really never had the chance to meet Walter. The only way that I've met him is through his coins and through the stories that I've heard from Tom DeLorean, from Steve and Harlan and Bob and Dave Greenstein. It was a uniquely equitable relationship that Walter had with HJB in that we got a lot out of him that we really needed to have in terms of his expertise, and he got to cherry pick from us a good portion of his collection because we allowed him to take the coins home and attribute the coins, and in turn we did him a favor by allowing him to have first shot at things. And having been in this business for 26 years, I really can't recall hearing stories of a relationship like Walter had with HJB ever before.
It was truly amazing looking at the attributions of the coins, seeing as there were coins that ranged anywhere from mint state examples to coins that were quite literally barely there. But Walter was able to attribute them all and find that one tiny little marker, whether it was on the front of the coin, the back of the coin, or even one coin, the die marker was on the edge, that he was able to tell what that coin was. This collection has it all, ranging from rarities in low grade to more common stuff in high grade, and then a combination of both. One example from the collection was an 1802 that was graded by PCGS as an AU53, though under the strict grading standards of the early American coppers, which Walter subscribed to significantly, was only a very fine 35, because they hold these coins to such a high standard. The 1802 was in lovely condition. It had almost the full detail of the coin with just a little bit of rub on the high points. And it's truly a fantastic looking coin. Another coin in the collection that was quite nice was the 1799. That's often considered one of the highlights of any collection, and it's very rarely found without some sort of problem. This coin is completely problem-free, is a solid, very good 10, and you just don't see them out there like that, and when you do, people ask the moon for them. And this coin, it walks and talks and is truly fantastic. Another coin from the collection that I wanted to highlight was the chain cent, the 1793 cent that has the flowing hair liberty on the obverse, and a chain on the reverse. Now this example, the chain was very strong. Unfortunately, the date was worn away, but it was the only date that they were made. And so you're able to know that it was the 1793 chain set. The chain is strong and bold, which makes the coin very desirable to a collector. In this collection, there was also an 1804 cent in almost good condition, meaning it's pretty well worn, but you could still see the date on it, which to the collector is oftentimes more important than the rest of the coin, because as long as you can read what the date is, you know what the coin is. There is very nice detail on it for an AG, and again, it's a very desirable coin for any collection, especially with large cents where you can't often get coins that aren't corroded or have some sort of issue. This coin is all there, completely original, and is generally pleasing. The last coin I wanted to talk about was the 1856 Newcomb 22 variety. It's really just a small variant, but that variant, there's only a few dozen coins that exist with that variation, and therefore the people who collect them academically desire to have that specific kind of coin. In this case, it goes from being a coin that would retail for around $200 to a coin that retails around $1,200 because it is so rare and desirable. And there's such a community of people in the early American copper world, such as Walter, who really desire to have these varieties.
The 1799 cent is very important because one of the major collectors and one of the first collectors in the United States coins was J.J. Mickley. And he was born in 1799, and he wanted to get a 1799 cent, and it took him almost 50 years to get a coin of the year of his birth date. And another interesting point is the chain cent. The reason it didn't last, it was the 13 links in the chain were supposed to mean the unity of the 13 colonies, but it was brought to their attention that it meant slavery. And that's why it was eliminated. And some of the members of Congress at the time said that the young girl looked like a squaw with the heebie-jeebies. So, what we represent as great early American art wasn't thought of as such at the time. Now, the two books we use are Newcomb and Sheldon. Sheldon goes from 1793 to 1814. And Newcomb goes from after that to 1857. And those are the basic books that haven't been corrected, although there have been some revisions of some of the rarities in Sheldon.
About four or 5 years ago, HJB started offering the Personal Catalogue, which is a way for a collector to use our expertise in both marketing and technology to bring a collection to market in the digital world. And this catalog, Walter's catalog, will represent, I believe, our 11th or 12th catalog. They're very effective. They've done just wonderfully well, not just for HJB, but for each of the collectors that have chosen to market their collections through HJB. In Walter's case, there literally is about 1,000 large cents. The Personal Catalog will consist of 100 or so of Walter's best coins, and the balance of those that are not in the Personal Catalog through HJB's website, and you can contact David or myself if you want to inquire about those.
Like many copper collectors, pedigree was important to Walter. The history of the coins was important to Walter. And so with every coin, he had his original envelope, which we will be providing to whoever purchases these coins. They have all of his notes on varieties, who he bought them from, the date he bought them, his early American copper grade, the price he paid, everything about the coin. What people will know is that this came out of the Walter Mustain collection, and that will be a surviving legacy of his name.
So when Walter passed away and I came in and I talked to David, Bob, they expressed sincere condolences, and I asked them if they would help me to market Walter's collection. But to me, it is a labor of love that you guys have. And it's not, and I can see the excitement in your eyes, Bob's eyes, whenever they work with the coins, whenever they talk to me about the coins. I can tell Aaron Berk is extremely excited working with this. And it's not just because of the marketing, but because they can market it in a certain way to hopefully other people that will enjoy the coins as much as Walter did. Because he truly did love the time that he spent with the coins and with his kids when he would travel around to the different shows with it. This is the way Walter would want them sold. And if he were to tell me, this is the way I always would have wanted them to be sold, this is it. So I thank you very much for all your efforts.